Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to focus on one of the most powerful yet often overlooked aspects of AI in business trust. Now, I want you to pause and think. When you buy from a small or medium sized business, why do you go back again? Is it just because the product is cheaper, or is it because you trust the people behind it? In the AI era, that same trust needs to extend not just to people, but to the technology you use. Customers now interact with chatbots, recommendation engines, automated decision making systems. And if they can't trust those systems, they won't trust your business. That's why ethical AI is more than compliance. It's about transforming customer relationships through transparency, accountability, and fairness. If done right, it becomes your competitive advantage. Let's dig into why trust is absolutely critical in today's world. First, transparency. Customers no longer accept vague answers. If an AI tool recommends a product, denies a loan, or sets a price, they expect to understand why. Without that explanation, they lose confidence. Second, loyalty. Think about the businesses you are loyal to. Chances are you stay because you believe they act in your best interest. The same applies to AI driven experiences. When customers see that you are open and fair, they stay longer and even bring in referrals. And third, competitive edge. For small and medium businesses, competing with global giants like Amazon or Google on price or scale is impossible. But trust is where SMBs can win. If you show you are ethical and fair, customers will prefer you over bigger players who might be seen as exploitative. So remember, in the digital age, trust is currency. It's more valuable than discounts or flashy marketing campaigns. Now, let's ground this in a real world example. A regional fintech startup launched an AI powered loan approval system. It was fast and efficient, but there was a problem. Customers didn't trust it. They felt uncomfortable letting an algorithm decide something as important as their financial future. The company could have ignored this and kept pushing transactions, but instead they invested in ethical practices. They added bias detection algorithms so no group was unfairly excluded. They created plain English explanations of loan decisions. So if you were denied, you actually understood why. And for complex cases, they included human review, ensuring empathy and context were never lost. The result? Loan adoption doubled in just 6 months. Customer satisfaction rose by 40%. Here's the key lesson: transparency and fairness turned customer doubt into customer growth. Ethical AI wasn't just the right thing to do, it was profitable. So let me ask you, if this fintech had ignored trust, do you think they'd still be in business today? Probably not. All right, let's shift gears into practice. How can you, as business leaders, start building trust with AI right now? Step 1: be transparent. Don't hide AI behind the curtain. Tell customers when AI is being used and explain it simply. If a chatbot answers them, let them know it's a chatbot, not a human. This honesty avoids the sense of trickery. Step 2: audit fairness. AI can sometimes produce biased results even unintentionally. For example, recruitment AI that favors one gender, or advertising AI that only shows jobs to certain demographics. Regular audits allow you to spot these problems and correct them before they cause harm. Step 3: ensure human accountability. AI should never operate in a vacuum. Create clear escalation paths. If a customer disagrees with an AI decision, they should have access to a human who can review it with empathy. When you combine these three, transparency, fairness, and accountability, you don't just deploy AI, you earn trust with it. And that is something no competitor can easily replicate. Think of this as a simple formula: transparency plus fairness plus accountability equals trust. And trust, my friends, equals sustainable business growth. I'll give you an example. An e commerce startup I consulted with started showing customers exactly how its AI recommended products. Instead of a mysterious, "you may also like this," it displayed, "because you bought X and viewed Y, we thought you'd find Z helpful." That little change boosted conversion rates and reduced returns. because customers trusted the recommendations. Notice what's happening here. The company wasn't just efficient, they were ethical and efficient, and that combination is the real competitive advantage. Finally, let's zoom in on SMBs specifically. Unlike global corporations, you don't have the luxury of absorbing massive reputational hits. One ethical misstep, say your AI chatbot mishandles sensitive customer data, could undo years of relationship building. SMBs rely heavily on reputation, word of mouth, and repeat customers. That's why ethical AI is not optional for you, it's survival. Another reality is resources. Large corporations can afford PR teams to manage scandals. Most SMBs cannot. That makes prevention, building AI systems that are transparent and fair from the start, absolutely essential. So here's a discussion question for you. How might ethical AI become your unique selling proposition? Could you proudly say to customers, we guarantee our AI is fair and accountable? That statement alone could become your strongest marketing message. Let's recap. Ethical AI builds trust, the foundation of customer loyalty and competitive advantage. We saw how a fintech company doubled adoption simply by being more transparent and fair. We learned the trust building toolkit, transparency, fairness, and accountability, and we understood why SMBs in particular cannot afford to ignore trust, because their reputations are their lifelines. So, if there's one thing I want you to take away, trust is not just a byproduct of ethical AI, it's the outcome you should be designing for from the start. In our next session, we'll look at how ethical AI not only builds trust, but also helps you stay ahead of regulations. With new laws on data privacy and AI ethics being drafted worldwide, compliance is no longer a choice. We'll explore how you can be proactive, not reactive, in navigating this regulatory landscape.